Welcome to a very special place in Italy,
Buenos Aires,
near Bologna. Right now, when you come to Italy, it's very important to enjoy a nice Amaro, which is a great liquor to have after your meal, but there's also many other uses for it. Right now, we're very close, about 30 minutes walking away from Bologna, and we're going to enjoy a nice tour through how they make Amaro Montenegro and also other liquors at Grupo Montenegro. So we are joined with my friend Marta is nearby, but here we have Rudy. And
Hi.
Rudy, where are we right now?
So right now we are in one of the production plants of Grupo Montenegro. There are 5 spread all around Italy, and in this specific production plant is where we produce our Vecchia Romagna and the final, where the final step of the production of Amaro Montenegro happen. So the blending and the bottling.
And then quickly, what is both Amaro and Vecchia Romagna? What type of liquors are they?
Vecchia Romagna is a brandy. By the European legislation, brandy is defined as the distillation of wine, which must be kept and aged for at least 1 year in small oak barrels.
Ah, okay.
Very simplified version, okay?
Right.
So,
And then
a
Amaro
cousin of
Montenegro?
the cognac, let's say.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Amaro Montenegro is, well, Amaro, if you translate it to English, means bitter, okay? But the perfect translation, to make everybody understand what an Amaro is to call it herbal liqueur.
Oh, right.
Because it's nothing more than a liqueur made with a lot of different, in this case, our Amaro Montenegro is made with 40 different botanicals coming from all around the world.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, I'm excited. Here we're already met with a little piece of history.
Well,
So what we're looking at?
Yeah, correct. Piece of history that comes from the world of Vecchia Romagna. So these are the copper pot still that Jean Bouton used to run to distill the wine to then produce Vecchia Romagna.
Oh, fascinating.
And well, as I previously announced to you, unfortunately for Amaro Montenegro, we won't be able to see any live fresh botanicals here,
Yeah, of
because they are all stored in a different production plant, which is a little bit south to Italy from where we are right now, in Teramo. And that's because in there we have the perfect source of fresh water coming from the Gran Sasso mountain, that we can use for the distillation, the boiling, and the maceration process.
Ah, fascinating. And that's also kept tight secret, the recipe.
As well, of course, because the Grupo Montenegro is still owned by a family.
Right.
And of course, the family is quite jealous of such old and important recipe like Amaro Montenegro, and they want to keep it quite safe and away from spine eyes, of course.
Of course, yeah. All right, wonderful. So lead the way to the map because
Absolutely. Walk with me and
Okay.
let's go and see the aging warehouse of Vecchia Romagna.
Oh, nice. All right, perfect. Ooh, I'm super excited. Let us know where you're watching from, everyone. Let us know if you see us and hear us well. Marta's right behind me. You might recognize her from yesterday and a few other live videos. Marta also works with Grupo Montenegro, and Rudy is the global brand ambassador. And due to privacy reasons that we're going to respect, I might point the camera down, fret not. We'll continue the live video if I do so. And I'm super excited. Let's do this. So let me know where you're watching from. And we're only about, how long are we away from Bologna?
Just about 20 minutes.
20
car
minutes.
drive, yeah.
Oh, pretty close to Bologna. And then we're still in the Bologna region.
Yeah, we're still in the Bologna like surrounding areas.
Okay.
It's where originally the production plant for Bouton, which is the name of the company that originally owned Vecchia Romagna, was. So we basically kept everything like
Right.
where it used to be.
Oh, good, good. All right. And Lorraine, nice to see you here. Susie, welcome. Everyone, welcome to the live video. We're gonna see how part of the process of how Amaros are, the process is finished. So, where are we walking through right now, Rudy?
At the moment, we're going to the warehouses where we age the Vecchia Romagna brandy. So basically where the magic happens, because our brandy is made with 3 ingredients: distilled wine, wood, and thyme, nothing more.
Oh,
okay?
good. Okay. Keep it
So,
simple.
and as I was saying before, this is called the city of brandy, because as you can see, it's quite a big production plant.
Yeah.
And it was built in the 70s to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Jean Bouton company. And well, it sits on an area which is more than 18 hectares big. Okay, that's why it's called the city of brandy. Okay, so let me just talk with the guys here.
Sure. Go for it.
Ciao, buongiorno. Possiamo... Buongiorno, buongiorno.
Ci sta.
Un po' di fresco. Possiamo fare un giro? Ah, ci manteniamo giovani col freddo, vero?
Crioterapia, la chiamiamo così.
Bene.
Ciao.
Perfect. So we got the okay from the custom authority to enter the warehouse.
Perfect.
This is basically mandatory in Italy because when you have a production of alcohol, the government want to make sure that nothing goes in or out without them knowing it.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. At the same time, it is sign of is a warranty for the consumers at the end. Okay, because we know what goes in and goes out. Okay, and the liquid isn't touched in the middle of the process. Okay, so when the liquid start to age here, it stays here until the end of the aging.
Fascinating.
Okay, the
To
moment that we
ensure
take
no adulterations, no.
there is no alteration, no other ingredients, no flavoring agent, nothing goes in apart from this. Also because the moment that we take out the liquid from this warehouse, it completely stops the aging, okay? Because the aging happens in terms of, legally happens only in this warehouse, okay? So if we age our brandy for 10 years, it needs to stay in here for 10 years. And that's why the government is here to check and make sure that that is true, okay?
Oh, that's interesting to hear. Okay.
Perfect, come on in. Mind your step.
Okay, so the reason. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we have a very strong smell of brandy, and it smells so good and pleasant. Brandy is mostly based
Ciao,
on
Nilo.
apples, right? Brandy is apples the main base.
Oh, no, wine.
Wine is the main base. Okay.
So it's a very noble product, the brandy, because, for example, you make grappa with pomace, which is the discarded part of the wine production.
Oh, I see.
Brandy is very noble because you use actually the actual wine. Okay, so you take the grapes, you make a wine, and then you distill it. So it doesn't come from any, exhaust product.
Right.
It comes from a very nice fresh product like wine. So in order to have brandy, you need to make wine. Yes, you can also make apple brandy, but this is not the case. Okay, it would be a different category.
Ah, I see.
Okay, so imagine that at the moment in this warehouse between this and the other cellar where we just passed by, we have close to 5 million liters of brandy aging.
Wow.
Okay.
5 million.
The first step
barrels. Yeah.
always happens in this small kind of wooden barrels. They are oak, made of French oak, called Limousin. Same capacity, same style of the one that they use in France to make cognac. So 450 capacity, French Limousin oak, because the guy that founded the company was actually a French guy, Jean Bouton. Okay, so he had the expertise, he was making cognac in France, and then when the Napoleon Court Empire started to collapse, he had to find a new home, and he came down to Bologna. And he found the perfect terroir and grape variety that he needed to create the Vecchia Romagna brandy. Okay? So we start here, and in here depends, everything depends from the master blender, okay?
Yeah.
So we have Antonio, which is our master blender, that decide when the brandy is ready to be moved to the second step, okay?
Oh, and since it's an organic product, he's always
tasting.
Always testing.
It's always, that's the only way that you could, keep track of what's going on inside the barrel.
Right.
You keep on tasting all the time. Okay. Every week you keep on tasting the different batches, so you know when it's time to move. Also because we have different labels of Vecchia Romagna, and the different labels are all of them a blend of different liquids. For this reason, we have to create liquids with different flavor profile.
Right.
So for example, we need the Vecchia Romagna, which stays in here for like a year, for example. Another one that stays in here for 2, 3, okay? So the master blender expertise is when...
2, 3 years, wow. Plenty of time.
Oh, yeah, no, we have also Vecchia Romagna that stays in here for even more. If the barrel is a little bit exhaust and give less, okay, it can stay here up to 5, even more sometimes, okay?
Oh, I see.
And when the master blender decides that this particular liquid is ready to be moved, we move it to the next container, let's say, okay?
What's the longest a barrel is here?
Oh, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
I will tell you. I will tell
I'm
you.
excited.
I will tell you soon, because we are, in a very historical production plant.
Right.
So as well. increase quite drastically. So from a 450 liter, we move to wooden cask, 10,000 liters, okay? So since these barrel, these casks actually, are older than the others, and they're bigger, they give less to the liquid. So the communication, okay, staying here. But for example, this one here is a cask that contains our oldest liquid, which was put in here. So this is a Vecchio Romagna that was put in here the 1st of August 1952.
Oh wow, plenty
Okay.
of time.
Filled up, it was filled up to the top, halfway, okay? And he hasn't been drunk, okay? Because this is part reserve, so only the, okay?
Angels are enjoying some good Vecchia
Indeed,
Romagna.
indeed.
And then what does Vecchia Romagna translate to in English?
Oh, it translates to Old Romagna.
Old Romagna, okay.
Vecchia means old.
Yeah, and Romagna, as I was telling you yesterday, is one of the areas of the region. You remember how yesterday I was telling you about the difference between, like, the region is called the Emilia Romagna,
Yeah.
and then there is the Emilia side and the Romagna side. So that's why it's called like Old Romagna.
Old Romagna, I see. And then what would be the main way that people would encounter Vecchia Romagna in Italy when they are traveling here and drinking?
They will usually find it in restaurants. It's usually
Grazie.
Arrivederci.
Grazie, Remigio, arrivederci.
After a meal.
Oh,
So
after.
it would usually be enjoyed neat or on ice. It can also be a sort of like meditation drink, like all brandies and whiskeys. So it's also something that you can have a sort of treat or a nightcap at the end of the day. It's something that like most Italian families would have in cabinets at home. Just offer people when they come and visit. Something that I would see on the table in Christmas time and so on. But yeah, you can find it in most bars
Oh, I see.
and Italian restaurants.
And outside of Italy, would it be used also
Outside of
as a
Italy,
mixer or?
I think since we have
Or is it
different-
digestive
we have
mostly?
different reserves, which
Yeah.
Rudy maybe can talk a little bit more about. But the let's say basic starting one, which is Vecchia Romagna Etichetta Nera, is usually still enjoyed like neat or on ice with.
And it's also very good as a cocktail base.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I see.
Then we have the Riserva Tre Botti, which does one more aging in a different kind of wood. Okay, and then we have the very top of the years old Vecchia Romagna.
Oh, fascinating.
So super high-end, super premium that has nothing to envy to the beautiful left. Basically where the Vecchia Romagna is aged.
Yeah.
And we are gonna move our label, okay? We need to create our recipe.
And this is blending for Vecchia Romagna.
This is the blending for Vecchio Romagna,
see.
but at the same time it's also the blending facility for Amaro Montenegro, okay?
And then Grupo Montenegro owns other liquor brands as well?
Yes, it does actually.
Select?
Select is the Venetian aperitif,
Okay.
okay, that was born in Venice in the 1920 and still is today, you know, premium aperitif that you can use for your Venetian spritz, for example, or your classic Italian drinks, Negroni di Americano.
Right.
Then there is like an heritage portfolio, which are historical Italian brands that are part of the Gruppo Montenegro portfolio, like Grappa, different liquors.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Coca leaf.
That was born in the 1870.
Oh, wow.
So we distill the coca leaves
Yeah.
that comes all the way from and it's on its own.
I
yeah.
see.
Because as I said before, all the botanicals and the production processes actually happens down in Teramo. Okay.
Oh, fascinating.
So
Huge.
in here we store the different batches of Vecchia Romagna,
Uh-huh.
and then in the next couple of rows of this very big vat, we actually store the final recipe. Okay. So thanks to this console, which is original from the 70s, that is actually quite interesting to see. It always reminds me, you know, the
Yeah.
Homer Simpson working station,
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
isn't it?
That's impressive.
So our
Wow.
colleagues, when they have to finalize the recipe of Vecchia Romagna, what they do, they move around the different batches. Okay, so according to the recipe, they add a tot of liters of this or that and the other to the other vat. You know, it's like making a cocktail, okay? You
Yeah.
mix together the different ingredients, in this case the different batches of Vecchio Romagna, you create the recipe. Once they create the recipe, there is the final step before bottling, which is very important, which is called the mariage. Mariage happens in the last row of vat, which are also the biggest one, always the wooden one. And it's nothing more than a moment when the Vecchio Romagna recipe can relax and you know, become mellow, and different batches, liquids can become one altogether, okay?
Right.
After that, we filter, and behind that door, we are bottling.
You guys bottle here as well.
We bottle
Yeah.
here, yes. Unfortunately,
Labeling as well.
we bottle and everything. You will be able to see it with your own eyes, but unfortunately, guys, for you, we won't be able to live streaming.
Okay,
Of
okay.
course,
Of
okay?
course, yeah.
But no, then Arya is gonna tell you everything about it on the comments.
Yeah.
In the comments, okay?
Susie says this looks like a nuclear power plant. It's
Luckily, it is not.
luckily it's not. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
Well,
What?
not bad, not bad.
Is there heating here, or this is all
No, this is-
cold?
This is
Liquids.
liquids and you know, it control the temperature itself, okay?
Okay, I see.
So, and this is the final part of the Vecchio Romagna aging, okay? So we do age the Vecchio Romagna 18, we do a finishing in these barrels that previously contained the Amarone della Policella, okay? So the Vecchio Romagna 18 is a full body, a lot of tannin, also because of this finishing that you know, happens for between 3 to 4 months, depends. And
And
well,
is this also a brand from Montenegro?
no, this is the brand that we partner up with. So
Partner.
they produce red wine, premium red wine from Valpolicella. And the moment that they empty these casks, what happened? They send us back to us here, and we fill them up with Vecchio Romagna. So
Oh, good.
we finish the Vecchio Romagna 18 with this beautiful aromatic bouquet of tannin and red wine. You know, you got the fruit, the berries of the red wine. That really makes it delicious and unique and very smooth and mellow.
Oh, that's good. Oh, fascinating.
Okay?
It's fascinating that these barrels have so many uses for them.
Indeed, indeed. And as you can see, they're pretty new as well.
They're pretty new. Yeah, exactly.
So now it's up to you. If you wanna, we can taste something, or before sitting down for a tasting, I can show you where we blend Amaro Montenegro.
Let's do a tasting first, so we'll all know how
I think it's
what
a good
it
idea.
is, and then I'm so excited to show the last
So-
part of the process.
Welcome to my office. There we go.
Ooh, wow.
This is our little from all around the world.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, basically what we do here, we make you try what we just talked about, okay? So let's finish with the word of Vecchia Romagna, and then we enter the word of Amaro Montenegro. What do you say?
Okay, that sounds perfect.
Perfect. So let me make you try.
Let's show. This is all the liquors from the Gruppo Montenegro.
Oh, correct. This is the coca liquors that I was telling you before, the Vecchia Romagna. We also have a gin.
Oh, you guys also make. Also, Antico is used for
Vermouth.
vermouth. Is used for Negronis.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. So you can make like 1, 2, 3. You make a beautiful Negroni.
Oh yes, that would be great actually. Just be sure to not step on this section because it'll probably be a bad service. All right.
Perfect. So, well, let's finish with Vecchia Romagna. I'll make you try the 3 main label, okay? So you can spot the differences. Vecchia Romagna,
Yeah.
black label, etichetta nera. Okay, the most sold in Italy and the most recognizable one, also because the iconic triangular shape of the bottle.
Oh, fascinating.
Okay, so between 3
This down.
between 3 and 5 years of age. Okay.
Let me show this. So look at that. Wow.
And a blend, of course, between Vecchio Romagna that has been aged in the small and also in the big cask, as we saw before, okay?
Oh, fascinating.
So you will taste, well, I won't spoil it, you
Okay.
tell me.
It's very fragrant, which is good. Oh, it's nice. No wonder people drink this after a good meal.
It definitely helps the
It's
digestion.
sweet, definitely. So it tastes like it has a dessert quality to it.
There is a bit of wood, but since it's not very old, there is just a hint of it.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
still a bit sharp. You have
Sharp.
like yellow fruit, like you get like a ripe pear, apricot, for example, touch of cinnamon, okay, spicy notes that come from the wood.
Yeah, that's right. It has a complex flavor to it. Fascinating.
And this
like
is
it.
what also, since it's quite sharp, is
Yeah.
also nice as a cocktail base. Okay, so you can make your brandy crasta, you can make your you can make an old fashioned with it. Okay,
Because yeah, also sangria.
yeah, why not? You can spike a sangria.
Yeah.
Then we have the Vecchio Romagna Tre Botti. Okay, so the Vecchio Romagna Tre Botti, as I was saying before, what happened?
Interesting that they do these triangular bottles. Oh, no wonder that the bottling process is also very important.
Indeed, there you go. So the Vecchio Romagna Tre Botti is called Tre Botti because Tre Botti means 3 barrels.
3 bars. Okay.
So we do 2 barrels here, we do 3 here. The small French oak barriques, the big Slavonian oak cask.
Right.
And then a part of the liquid is also aged in French tonneau. Tonneau is a specific barrels which approximately hold 500 liters of liquid, 500, 450, and also previously contain red wine. So there is a hint of tannin. They're not the same as the one we just saw, they're bigger, but in here you go a little bit more in depth
Yeah, you're right.
with the oak, with the sweetness, with the mellow character,
Right.
and also is a little bit more boozy.
So yeah, it has a deeper flavor to it. Definitely a stronger body.
So we're getting to more in a meditation style of drink.
And what does a meditation style drink mean?
Oh, meditation means that you sit down, you take your time, you enjoy it.
Oh, I see. I
Okay.
see. Makes sense.
So
Yeah.
something that you
Not for a-
definitely not to
not for a
be,
shot.
you don't have to be in a rush to drink.
Exactly.
Well, this is a little bit more on the high end side, but it can also be the
Like
base
it.
for delicious cocktail, if the cocktail bar has the budget for it.
It's really good because it almost tastes similar to what one would have in the old-fashioned these
yes.
other cocktails.
Yes.
But on its own, it has that kind of complex flavor.
It is. That's the beauty of brandy. 3 ingredients, as I said before: thyme, wood, and this wine distillate.
Right.
And that's all you need to create a perfect. Well,
Let me show.
thanks to the expertise, of course, of the master blender, you can create a good product as this. But when we talk about the perfect meditation drink, as I was telling you before, we need to talk about Vecchio Romagna 18, because Vecchio Romagna 18 is our premium liquid. And since we state 18
Yeah.
on the bottle, that means that the youngest drop in this bottle is at least 18 years old. Then we go up to 35 years old, Vecchio Romagna.
Wow.
In here, we go up to 15.
It's-
Okay,
wow,
so this is like
Vecchio Romagna almost as old as I am. That's crazy.
Yeah, correct. And in here you have the perfect meditation drink that could be easily be paired with, of course, classic pairing like chocolate or a beautiful cigar. But you can also use it as to complement a beautiful dinner or do a pairing with something.
That does smell really good. It reminds me of having a cigar, actually.
And this is the one that finished in the small barriques that you just saw, okay? So you got the tannin, you got the red fruit from the wine, you got the wood, you got the age, you have the beautiful noble mold that comes through, and you close your eyes, it seems like you're back in the cellar.
You can definitely feel how old this is in a good way. It has a lot of depth to it. I usually don't drink liquor straight, or neat, but this is really good. I gotta admit, this is so deep in flavor. Just has a lot of aromas. You're right. It reminds me of going down into a cellar. Yeah.
Perfect. So that's the achievement that we wanted to have.
I'm so tempted to just drink all of it.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
well, they stay here, so we can always come back. So, well, this is our little Vecchio Romagna tour
Right.
that we ended up with a little tasting. Then, if you wanna, I can show you the ingredients
That'd be great. Let's see it.
that we use for Amaro Montenegro. Okay. So, Very simple in terms of ingredients when it comes to Vecchia Romagna. A little bit more complex when it comes to Amaro Montenegro. Because Amaro Montenegro is made of 40 different botanicas.
40. So it's very different from brandy. So brandy is only 3, you mentioned.
3 ingredients.
3.
Okay?
And this is 40. Wow. Okay.
Correct. So, different base, so 2 completely different products. One is wine base aged. This one is spirit base with a lot of production going in. Extraction processes, because every single of these botanicas gives something, and you need to be able to make the beautiful liquor, which is Amaro Montenegro, out of this. But luckily for us, someone else did it for us. Because the guy who created the recipe was Stanislao Cobianchi.
Okay.
And he was the guy who created Amaro Montenegro in 1885. He was a young guy coming from a noble family of Bologna, and the family wanted to pursue an ecclesiastic career. But he had a passion for alchemy and chemistry. So he decided to go against the will of the family, and he started to travel the world. And in every major port where he stopped by, Northern Africa, Central America, South America, China, Turkey, India, he was very curious to collect samples of botanicas. So when I say botanicas, I mean seeds, flowers, roots, spices, anything that then it could be used to create something unique.
Right.
So after a few years around the world with his vessel, and all the samples of botanicals collected from the major port around the world, he went back to Bologna and he started to experiment. And after a few years of experimentation, actually, he cracked the recipe for Amaro Montenegro using 40 of these, maybe 100 botanicals that he found around the world.
Oh, fascinating.
Okay?
Also, I really loved tasting all these different botanicals and seeing.
Please feel free to open them up.
He found absinthe. Was this wormwood?
Yes, correct.
Wormwood. Oh,
So
fascinating.
he used not one, but 4 different kind of absinthe or wormwood in the recipe of Amaro Montenegro to give the long bitter, because Amaro means bitter,
Right.
finish to it. Okay.
Oh, fascinating.
So you have the small absinthe, you have the Valais wormwood, okay, which is also the Artemisia vallesiaca. It looks like more like a wool, okay, if
Yeah,
you look
that's
inside.
right.
So completely different style.
Fascinating.
And the flavor profile is more like
And this on its own would be very strong. That's why absinthe is made out of
yeah,
with wormwood.
very strong
Yeah.
and dry as well. Then we have sweet oranges, bitter oranges, but let me show you this that you probably don't know. These little dried bitter oranges. Look, they look like a nutmeg, or even
Were
smaller.
these oranges at some point?
Yeah, smell one.
They were. Wow. Let me. Oh wow. Yeah,
So-
it has a very strong orange smell to it.
This is a particular
Concentrated.
variety of orange that we get picked up when they're about to grow. So they have a completely different flavor profile. You still have the orange, but it's much more mellow, it's much more sweet with cocoa and chocolate hint. If you compare it with the sweet oranges,
Yeah.
this is like the orange that you use every morning for like fresh juice, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Also smells like candied oranges. The
Correct.
The dried oranges.
So 3 different kind of oranges to get the citrus notes very in depth. We have very common coriander seeds. Coriander seeds usually are very common in when you distill, when you make liquors, because they help to put together the recipe.
Let me smell.
Okay, so if you smell it like this, you won't get much.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a very neutral smell to it.
let me do an experiment for you. What about if I crush them like this, and then I make you smell them?
Fascinating. Let's try this out. Oh wow! Yeah. It's like very floral. Yeah.
You go cedar, you go lemongrass coming through, lemon.
lemongrass,
Okay,
yeah.
very nice and fresh. Okay, don't worry, we can.
We're gonna put this down.
Oh, you can put it here.
Perfect.
Okay,
And then Stanislaw, how do I say his name?
Stanislao.
Stanislaw.
Yes.
He was experimenting with all of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, fascinating. And he was around the same era of the other people who were experimenting at the same time, similar bitter companies
Oh,
out there.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of, but it was actually one of the first.
One of the first. Oh,
Okay,
interesting.
because he actually cracked the recipe in 1885. That means that he was working on it a little bit before.
Oh, fascinating.
Okay,
1885.
1885.
Oh,
Yep.
quite a long time ago. Okay.
So, just to get back to the production process, from 40 botanicas,
Yeah.
we use boiling, maceration, and distillation to create 12 liquids. There you go, 12 liquids.
Let's show
Okay,
the liquids.
so This one, you can easily spot that it comes from the distillation process,
Yeah.
okay? The others either come from the boiling or the maceration. Usually the color, the darkest one, usually come from the maceration, the other from the boiling. What do we do in thermo? We blend them again into 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay?
Oh, 6. Oh, wow.
These are the 6 notes of Amaro Montenegro, which are the core, the heart of Amaro Montenegro, which are the one that we receive here. Once they get here, what do? According to the recipe, we have our base of water, alcohol, and sugar, and we blend the 6 notes according to the recipe, and we have our Amaro Montenegro. Okay?
Oh, fascinating. Why is it not distilled everything at once?
Oh, because we are still using the same recipe that Stanislao Kobianchi did in 1885.
But why did Stanislao prefer it to blend the liquids differently, distill the liquids differently? And then blend?
Basically, by having 12 different small recipe like this,
Yeah, he can
Okay.
control the levels.
you can control the level,
I
and
see.
the level of complexity is also indescribable because it's so complex
fascinating.
that nowadays it would be even difficult to create something like this. Okay, so he did a very good job.
He has more control over it, okay.
And talking about complexity, Stanislao also wanted to add one more ingredient to it, which is our super secret ingredient
Okay.
that
What is it?
nobody knows around the world. Okay,
Even me and Rudy.
we don't know what it's made of, but
It's hidden
actually,
over
before I lied, because to make these 12 essences,
there. Yeah.
only 35 of the botanics are used.
Okay.
The other 5 are treated in a separate way. They are the more rare, the more expensive one, and delicious, which I don't know because I'm not allowed to know. So only a few people know the whole recipe, and unfortunately I'm not one of them, and no either Marta. But-
Is it possible for an expert mixologist to discern what could be the ingredients?
Well, let
Okay.
me start by saying that
Yeah.
this liquid that we call premio, which means prize or award, comes out from a microreflux distillation so concentrated, so full of flavor that we need only 1 liter over 15,000 liters of Amaro Montenegro. Okay,
wow.
so to finish the bottle of Amaro Montenegro, in this bottle here,
Yeah.
we only need 1 drop of premio to finalize the recipe.
Oh, fascinating.
And trust me, without that drop, it would taste completely different. So,
Premio is the blend of the 5 secret
yes,
ingredients.
it's the secret ingredient.
Okay.
So, even though you smell it, you taste it, actually, I don't suggest you to taste it because it would be too powerful.
Yeah. Right.
It's so concentrated, full of flavor that it's impossible to guess what's in there because 1,000 botanicas comes to mind. But maybe you can be the first one.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay.
Mm.
This is exciting.
Okay, here we go. Little alchemist ampulla.
Marina asks, how does it smell in this room? How would you describe the smell in this room?
This room is a beautiful mix of history, Amaro, Brandy, and heritage all together. A bit of food,
Good way.
I would say.
With a little bit, that's a good way.
A little bit of poetry here, and I just constantly drop.
Okay, so let me give you a bit more.
This is Premio?
This is the premium, yes. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Now you can smell it.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. This smells like an exquisite perfume.
But what does it remind you?
A bouquet of flowers, for sure. Lilies, something along those
You
lines.
know, as I tell you, it's impossible to describe.
But yeah, it's
to get only 5.
Yeah, it feels like a bouquet of flowers.
You
That's
go
the term.
lily, you go vanilla, you go orange, you go cardamom, you go anything that comes to mind is in there. That's why
Did
only
you ever
1 drop.
make that as a perfume?
Unfortunately not.
No. Okay,
Otherwise, I'm sure it would be very popular.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe that's the reason why we don't do that.
Right. Fascinating.
So don't tell anyone that the premium is here, okay? We're our secret compartment. There we go. Nobody knows.
This is one of the most exquisite smells I've smelled. Stunning.
Okay, I'll give you a little present though.
The Negro might have a future in perfume.
Rudy's about to give a present.
Here we go. So this one you can carry.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. Okay. Just gonna rub it all around me. And to think only 1 drop should be in the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, fascinating.
So let me show you.
Yeah.
Or do you want to sip a Montenegro
Let's
first?
sip a little Montenegro to
Yeah.
see how it tastes, and then
That's
we'll
just fair.
continue.
And then I show you where we blend. But as I was saying to you before, Montenegro doesn't age in any wood, so we only keep it in stainless steels tank before the premium is added, and then after
Right.
the premium is added, we bottle it straight away, so we don't lose the beautiful aromatic bouquet of the premium. Okay.
So you can see it has a amber quality to it, look to it. All right, let's try this out. Yeah, it's way more complex in smell.
You should get the oranges. Start sweet, then you should have some spicy notes.
That's so good. It's really good. It's hard to describe because it's very complex flavor, but it's definitely sweet. It has a nice smooth mouthfeel,
And now you
which
should
is
be
different from the brandy.
And now you should be getting the wormwood at the end. That stays here at the back of your throat. It wants you to go back to the glass.
And wormwood is like a
Dry,
is a more
dry,
drier.
dry bitter finish. Yeah.
I see.
Together with other botanicals, yes, but since we have 4 different kind of wormwood, that is the main one.
Because I've had wormwood tincture. It's pretty intense.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's used for healing your stomach.
Yes.
As a tincture. As on
Well,
its own.
Amaro,
And that's why this is a digestif, because it has these ingredients that are associated with
well done.
helping.
Correct. That's the predecessors of our Amaro.
Yeah.
Nowadays, of course,
So this was medicine at some point, or
it was.
could have been
It
used
was.
as
It was
medicine.
born in medicine. Okay, so the first person who understand that we could help, let's say, our body to heal, thanks to the use of botanicals,
Yeah.
was Hippocrates.
Hippocrates. Oh, cool.
Okay? That's why he's called the father of the modern medicine.
Yeah.
Because back then, okay, like 2,500 years ago in the ancient Greece, he discovered that if you leave some botanicals in infusion with some alcoholic base,
Right.
which at the time would be wine, you can get the properties of the botanicals, and then you can use them to heal your body. This was a major breakthrough, because until then, people would believe that you were getting sick because you misbehaved and the gods wanted to punish you. Okay, instead, that's why it's called the father of the modern medicine.
Yeah,
Hippocrates understood how our human body works, and thanks to the botanicals, we can relieve some, digestion problem, something like that, or headache, for example. And that was the beginning of a very long journey that this elixir
Right.
took, because from a medicine, then they become, quite popular in terms of. It was called vinum conditum during the Roman Empire, which is wine with botanicals. It was used during the huge buffet of dinner parties that the Romans used to have, to help as well the digestion. But it was also used kind of a digestive medicine, because it was strong and so intense that they would only use a glass of this vinum conditum, very primordial vermouth, let's say,
Right.
or Amaro, in a jug of water, okay? So, to help the digestion.
Oh, fascinating.
And then slowly after the discovery of the America, okay, when the sugar became much more popular in Italy and the distillation started to become, was perfected by the monks in the monastery, they start to use not more wine, but a distilled liquid as a base, where you could add your elixir. So these are the elixir of Hippocrates,
elixirs.
okay,
Yeah.
which then became something as good as Amaro, thanks to the expertise of people like Stanislao Bianchi.
Fascinating.
So this is more or less the evolution in 2,000 years of. But yes, everything started as a medicine.
And I can tell that as I'm drinking it,
I think she likes it.
I can really tell that it has that drop
Oh yeah,
of
it does.
premio.
It does. It does.
Yeah, because it has that extra burst of complexity.
It does.
Yeah. This is amazing. Great liquor. I'm really surprised.
I'm happy.
I'm surprised I didn't know about this until very recently. So.
Well, now you know.
now I can come back to Italy and enjoy all the digestives.
Now you know. Let's go around.
All right.
Let me
Perfect.
show
Let me
you.
grab my bag.
Let me show you.
It's fascinating because when you think about it, Rudy makes a good point when all these are based on medicines, and even the medicines we still use today, even though less and less are based on alcohol, they still have that similar flavor profiles and ways of blending ingredients that are similar to what's used in these liquors.
Yeah, until a few decades back, you could also advertise your alcoholic product as beneficial for your body. Now, of course, that is impossible to do because we know that alcohol is not beneficial for your body. That's also why we always promote the responsible consumption of it. Okay,
course.
but back then it was.
Sorry to interrupt. Does Grupo Montenegro offer alcohol-free version of their Amaros or bitters?
We did some tests, but not.
Not yet. Okay.
No, we did some tests just to understand if that could work. It does work in a sense, but not in terms of putting it into the market yet.
Okay.
You never know. So look at this. This is all Amaro ready to be bottled. Okay? So that means that it's been blended and the premium is been added already.
Right.
It's being stored here until it's ready to be bottled, which will be very soon. Of course, we have quite a huge production of Amaro Montenegro, so we keep on producing every single week. Okay, we have every month we have a target to hit, and every week we produce and we bottle. Okay,
And this is also being exported to other countries.
oh correct in more than 60,
More than 60. Wow,
Yes.
plenty. Including
But-
the U.S.
including the US, of course.
Well, that's it.
Let me show you though.
So lovely lyrics. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marina, nice to see you here. Daniel, Almo says that was an exclusive bar.
Oh yeah, if you're around, guys, drop me a text and I'll take you around myself.
Does Grupo Montenegro have a public tours or not yet?
We do this, but
So-
of course only for friends and
Of course.
expert of the industry. But we're working on it.
Okay.
Ciao. So this little corner here is basically where we store our 6 notes. Okay. So as you can see, these stainless steel tank, which are not huge, okay,
Yeah.
they contain the 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and other 2 in the back because these 2 are the same, and those are as well.
Okay.
And one actually is the main note because
Yeah.
we also have one of the main note is stored in these tanks. So you can see that we have one which is predominant and the other are there to complete the recipe, okay? So, as I said, no wood because Amaro doesn't touch wood and there aren't many Amaros that does so,
Yeah.
okay? That's the area of the production plant dedicated to other botanical herbal liquor like Select, for example.
Oh, I see.
But
Oh, so Select is also in this facility.
yes, we,
Okay.
we bottle it here. But if you mind your step, okay, come with me. So do you remember the ratio of the premium? It was 1 liter over 15,000 liter of Amaro Montenegro, right?
Right.
So what do? We use these 2 twin tanks, which contain, they contain more, but we use 15,000 liter here and 15,000 liter there, okay? And we use them to add the premium to it. So we fill them up with the Amaro Montenegro without premium, and then using these, the smallest tank that we have, we add the premium in there.
The premium's in here.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So we had it here.
Oh, it's so
Then-
tiny. Let me
Oh
show
yeah,
you
very
up
very
close.
tiny. Need to contain a couple of liters, and then we split them between the 2. We add it,
fascinating.
we keep it there, and then
Oh, that's how the drop is added in terms of ratio.
correct. And just to give you the idea of the ratio, you saw how big
Yeah.
the tanks are. This one here is the premium.
Oh, this is the premium right here.
Yes,
Wow,
okay.
Fascinating.
So very small, very tiny, because we only need so much to finalize the recipe.
Of course, yeah. That's fascinating with the premio. Is
Indeed.
this common in the bitters industry?
No.
No, it's
No,
not.
that's
Okay.
that's why Montenegro is quite unique,
Yeah.
and that's probably the reason why we still are the #1 premium Amaro in Italy, for example.
Fascinating.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, fascinating. Wow. So everyone, here's where the magic, part of the magic happens with Amaro Montenegro.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I would love to show you some botanicas, but as I said, for secrecy reason, we cannot go down to Teramo.
Of course, yeah. Also, it'll be a very long live video.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Is that basically the entire process?
That's basically
Okay.
it.
Let me
Yes.
see if anyone had any questions. Hello, Ida. Hello, Janice. Hello, Ida says, what a great unexpected visit to Montenegro.
Thank you.
Kay says, I'd love to take that medicine. Marina says, I would wear that as a perfume. Let's see if anyone else has any question. Wondering what it smells like in the room. Yeah, you said already the wood and the beautiful heritage. Julie says you don't get too sleepy from it. Yes, you don't get too sleepy from it.
Oh no,
Julie says, I don't drink coffee, but I love both brandy and wine in moderation.
beautiful.
And Kay says, wine and chocolate. Ooh, yes, indeed. It's a good combination. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Where can people find more about Amaro Montenegro?
Definitely our website, www.amaromontenegro.com. And or check your local distribution liquor store, because we're spread quite well all over the US, so easy to find us if you look. Now that you know the product, it's easy to spot us.
And then in the bar, people can just ask for Amaro Montenegro specifically.
Specifically, well, for example, if you're around New York, we have a couple of bars like Amore Amargo, or you can enjoy cocktails based on Montenegro at the Overstory. Okay,
cool.
Which we are of course an Amaro, so digestif in Italy, but all over the world we are also very well known as a cocktail ingredient.
Fascinating.
Okay,
and
so
what's the number one cocktail to make from Amaro?
The most easy as well to find to make. Actually, let me give you two.
Yeah.
On the lighter version, you can make the Montenegro and tonic. So Amaro Montenegro tonic water with a peel of orange. Very simple, summer parties, rooftop, beautiful, delicious.
Perfect.
And the other one is the M&M. M&M stands for Montenegro and Mezcal.
Oh, fascinating.
So you do equal parts of Amaro Montenegro and Mezcal, maybe a smoky one.
Yeah.
You mix them together, you chill them, you dilute them on a mixing glass, then you serve them over fresh ice. And that's the beautiful alternative to the old-fashioned cocktail.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can use it as a shot for kickstarting the party.
Wow,
okay, so
fascinating.
Check it out, and then let Ariel know what do you think about these cocktails.
Thank you so much, Rudy. Thank you so much, Marta, for organizing
Our
this.
pleasure.
All. Try Amore Montenegro and the Brandy Vecchio Domania. It's amazing. I really am impressed. And I actually am going to have some later tonight. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day. I always say a wave
Ciao.
goodbye. Ciao.